Hello students, today we'll be talking about thyroid gland. Outlines of the thyroid gland are today we'll be discussing about the definition, surgical anatomy, thyroidectomy, types of thyroidectomy, pre-op preparation, anesthesia, procedure of anesthesia, post-op management and complications. Definition: thyroid gland is an endocrine gland situated in midline of neck against vertebra C5, C6, C7 and T1. It weighs about 20 to 25 grams. The shape is of butterfly formed of two lateral lobes connected by an isthmus. You can clearly see in the diagram here. Anatomy of the thyroid gland. Each thyroid lobe is pear shaped with its apex reaching oblique line of thyroid cartilage. The isthmus crosses the second, third, and fourth tracheal rings and may project upwards, forming the pyramidal lobe, which is connected to the hyoid bone by a fibrous band. Capsules of the thyroid gland. True fibrous capsule enveloping the gland. False facial capsule derived from the pretracheal fascia which attached above thyroid gland, thyroid cartilage, and hyoid bone. So it allowed the gland to move up during deglutition. The fascia is thickened posteriorly, forming the ligament of Berry, which fixes the back of the gland to the cricoid cartilage. You can see the diagram here. Next, we'll be discussing about the relations. Medially, each lobe molded over larynx and trachea. Superiorly, the gland overlies a cricothyroid muscle. External branch of superior laryngeal nerve passes deep to the upper pole of the thyroid gland on its way to supply the muscle. Posterior laterally, contact with the cricoid sheath and parathyroid. Posterior medially, related to tracheoesophageal groove in which runs recurrent laryngeal nerve. Blood supply of the thyroid gland. Arterial supply, superior thyroid artery, inferior thyroid artery, and thyroidema artery. A superior thyroid artery is a branch of external carotid artery closely related to external laryngeal nerve, but separate it close to the apex of the gland. Inferior thyroid artery is a branch of thyrocervical trunk of the subclavian artery. It is terminal branches related to right laryngeal nerve close to the gland. Thyroidema artery may be absent in some cases, arise from arch of the aorta or innominate artery, and ascend in front of trachea to reach the isthmus. Venous drainage of the thyroid gland. Superior thyroid vein drains from the apex to the middle thyroid vein from the base, and inferior thyroid vein from isthmus to innominate vein. Thyroidectomy definition: it is overall removal of or part of thyroid gland. The overall removal or part of the thyroid gland is removed in thyroidectomy. The indications to perform thyroidectomy are as therapy for patient with thyrotoxicosis. Patients who are suffering from thyrotoxicosis, thyroidectomy is done, or to treat benign or malignant thyroid tumors. To treat pressure symptoms such as respiratory distress or dyspnea or dysphagia. And cosmetic purpose, to establish definitive treatment of thyroid mass, especially when cytological results is interminate. Types of surgeries are hemithyroidectomy, subtotal thyroidectomy, near total thyroidectomy, and total thyroidectomy. Hemithyroidectomy, it involves removal of one lobe plus entire isthmus is removed. It is performed in benign disease involving one lobe, also done in follicular carcinoma involving one lobe. Other indications are solitary toxic or non-toxic nodule or thyroid cyst. Subtotal thyroidectomy. Here about 8 grams or tissue size of pulp of finger is retained on lower pole of the thyroid on both sides and rest gland is removed. Indications: toxic thyroid primary or secondary, non-toxic multinodular goiter. Near total thyroidectomy. Here both the lobes except less than 2 gram of thyroid tissue on the lower pole is left. Near to recurrent laryngeal nerve and parathyroid are removed to retain blood supply to parathyroid gland. Indication: mostly done in papillary thyroid carcinoma. Total thyroidectomy. Here entire thyroid gland is removed. Indication is follicular thyroid cancer and papillary thyroid cancer. Pre-op preparation. before preparing the patient for OT. Blood supply and cross matching keep required blood if ready. Indirect laryngoscope, check for abduction of the vocal cord, serum calcium estimation because hyperthyroidism may coexist. Check levels of T3, T4 and TSH. Check for thyroid antibodies, ECG and cardiac fitness, especially in case of thyroid toxic goiter. Lugol's iodine is given 10 days prior to surgery to make the gland firm and less vascular. Pre-op consent. The consent should be taken from the patient regarding the appearance of scar, airway obstruction, vocal change, hypothyroidism and hypoparathyroidism. Procedure. Position. Under general anesthesia, the patient is put on supine position with neck hyperextended with sandbag under the shoulder. Table tilt 15 degrees head to reduce venous congestion. This is called as rose position. Skin is pricked from chin to the upper thorax. Surgeon and assistant scrub and gown the stand the opposite side. Usually start the larger gland first. Incision. Site of incision is indefinite with suture. Transverse skin crease incision is placed 2 to 3 centimeters above the sternal notch, about 8 centimeters long, extending to laryngeal border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. The scalpel with size 15 blade is slanted to divide skin and platysma. Hemostasis is controlled with electrocautery. Subplatysmal flap. Subcutaneous tissue and platysma are incised in platysmal plane, remaining superficial to anterior jugular vein. Upper flap rise up to thyroid cartilage. Lower flap to sternoclavicular joint. D fascia is opened vertically in the midline, separating strap muscle and exposing the anterior surface of thyroid. The fascia between strap muscles, sternohyoid, sternothyroid and omohyoid, is divided along midline and muscles are retracted laterally. In case of large goiter or any neoplasm, strap muscles divided in upper part. Pretracheal fascia. It covers the thyroid gland, is opened vertically to expose the thyroid gland. Identify the middle thyroid vein. The thyroid gland is rotated medially using surgeon's finger. The middle thyroid vein identified, which is then ligated. This permits further mobilization of the gland. Superior pole of thyroid. Superior pole is dissected. Identify the superior thyroid artery close to superior pole of the thyroid parenchymal and ligate it. A dissection is done in avascular plane between upper pole of the gland and cricothyroid muscle to avoid trauma of external branch of superior laryngeal nerve entering cricothyroid. Identify superior parathyroid gland. Location in the posterior position at the level of upper 2/3 of the thyroid and approximately 1 centimeter above and behind the crossing point of recurrent laryngeal nerve and inferior thyroid artery. It is orange yellow in color. The gland must remain in situ with blood supply intact. Identify the posterior parathyroid. Location between the lower pole of the thyroid and isthmus below the front of crossing. Care must be given to preserve it in situ to avoid damage. It is inferior thyroid artery supplying both the glands. Capsular ligation of inferior thyroid artery. It is a branch of thyrocervical trunk. Ligation done at capsular level at the lower pole of thyroid gland. It retains blood supply of parathyroid, very important. Identify recurrent laryngeal nerve. It should be identified by dissection of the entire course. Recurrent laryngeal nerve is located in Riddle's triangle. A Riddle's triangle is superiorly inferior thyroid artery, medially trachea and lateral common carotid artery. You can see it in the diagram. A dissection of thyroid. Berry's ligament. Define the posterior lateral attachment of thyroid gland. Blunt dissection can be used to further expose this fascia, then with scalpel transect the ligament. Often minimal amount of thyroid tissue left near the entrance of the recurrent laryngeal nerve into the larynx to reduce the risk of injury. Closure. Absolute hemostasis. Suction drain to the thyroid bed beneath the strap muscle. Close loosely in layers with absorbable sutures. Close skin with suture or clips. Check vocal cord on extubation by direct laryngoscope. Post-operative management. Close follow-up till fully conscious. At bedside, clip remover in case of respiratory distress. Calcium gluconate in case of acute hypocalcemia, and remove the drain. Drain when tried for 24 to 48 hours post-operatively. Sutures 3 to 5 days post-operatively. Complications. Hemorrhage and respiratory obstructions. Hemorrhage may occur due to slipped the ligature of the superior thyroid artery of small veins. It causes tachycardia, hypotension, breathlessness, severe stridor. Treatment: ligation of bleeder under general anesthesia. Respiratory obstruction occur due to hematoma, laryngeal edema, bilateral recurrent nerve palsy, and treatment is evacuation of hematoma. Recurrent laryngeal nerve palsy may be unilateral or bilateral. Unilateral mostly asymptomatic, only when some change in voice which gradually become normal, no need to specify treatment. Bilateral change in voice and severe dyspnea and stridor lead to respiratory arrest. Treatment: emergency tracheostomy. Hypoparathyroidism. Rarely complication, temporary due to vascular spasm of parathyroid gland. Occur in 2nd to 5th postoperative day. It presents with muscle weakness and convulsions. Treatment is calcium gluconate IV for 8 hourly, later oral calcium supplements. Thyrotoxic crisis or thyroid storm occurs in thyroid patient not well prepared for surgery. Other causes: infection, diabetes mellitus, preeclampsia. Features are severe dehydration, circulatory collapse, hypotension, hyperpyrexia, tachypnea, palpitations, cardiac failure, GIT, vomiting or diarrhea. Investigations: raised T3, T4 and calcium levels, change in ECG, cardiography and arterial blood gas analysis. Treatments are fluid therapy, cold sponge, IV paracetamol, IV hydrocortisone 500 mg, propranolol 80 mg, it's very important, cholestyramine, digoxin in case of cardiac failure, hemodialysis, plasmapheresis and exchange transfusion. Others are external laryngeal nerve injury, hypothyroidism, recurrent thyrotoxicosis, wound infection and stitch site granuloma formation and keloid scar. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Good luck.